welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. This is episode 2 of our Best Songs series, and today we're featuring Budgie. We're going to go through the entire catalog, including a compilation album of like unreleased material and an EP as well. So yeah, it's a lot of music to discuss. So we're going to go through our favorite from each and every album. And joining us today is Webb the Tire Fitter and the Doctor. I'm Napoleon.
I got the day off work to do this. I got the day off work to do this.
I don't know, Budgie, you're going to be really confused by our names right now, but it'll make sense when we start going through all of this. So
yeah, I just came out of the garage, changed 3 tires. Now I'm here.
3? Was it a bike?
3.
Yeah. The back right was okay. The other 3 were. Don't get me started.
Oh my God! How's your armpits, Logan?
They're hot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Oh my God, this is gonna be fun.
I'm gonna conquer this episode.
Yeah.
Take it over, Napoleon. Little Napoleon.
All right. So
I'm sure there's gonna be a Bonaparte joke later.
Yeah. So Webb, how did you get into Budgie?
Well, that's a loaded question. I didn't really get into him until like maybe the last 15 years, and I still haven't until this prep for the show. I had only heard random songs off random albums, but I knew that I liked it, and that's why I threw it out. You know, last time I was on with you guys, I threw it out there at the end of the show just to see if you guys would, take the bait, and you took it. So, yeah. And so, I mean, most of the Budgie that I've listened to has been in the last 2 weeks. Okay. And besides about maybe random 8 or 10 songs. And
yeah,
I got to tell you, I just, it's a mystery. I mean, I know they're kind of crazy. They're kind of weird, but I just don't know why they never got at least a little bigger, and sold a little bit more records.
Yeah. How about you, Logan?
That's why. Well, I guess here in Metallica, do Bread Fan and Crash Course in Brain Surgery, really, because I was a big Metallica fan when I was younger. I mean, that was kind of the way. And then I was like, who the hell is this Budgie band? And listen to that. I listened to Never Turn Your Back on the Friend first, so I definitely went with the albums. I mean, that's just the way I am. But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad we're doing this video and giving some love to a band that really should have been bigger than they were, and glad to do it.
For me, it was Bandolier or Bandoiler. I don't know how you actually properly pronounce that. Like it's Bandolier.
I always said Bandolier. I don't know.
Bandolier. Yeah. Because my dad, he had the record, and he used to put a lot of his records onto cassette. And he loved the first song on there, so he put Breaking All the House Rules on like a mixed cassette with a bunch of other stuff from other records that he had. So that was probably the first time I ever heard them. Getting into that. So.
This George guy sounds like a really cool dude.
He didn't know them either. He went and listened to all the music too. He went and listened to all this because he only knew that one song because of that record. And
I can tell you one thing. My dad never would have had a Budgie record. He would have been listening to like Kenny Rogers or something in the 70s, mid 70s, late 70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Napoleon.
Ronstadt.
Yeah. I should know my French, but yeah. So I'll do the whole episode in French.
Please, no.
Bonjour.
Yeah, Elle's saying, where do I start for my comment about how cool George is?
You guys read that? That sums it up right there.
Freaking good band.
Freaking good band.
That's... Oh boy. Yeah.
Sums it up.
Well, so they were go first. Are we gonna dive into it?
Yeah. So they were like I get a little bit of backstory. So yeah, they're from Wales. Not many bands, right, from that country, really. I mean, I'm sure there are, but not like in this genre. Like
you know what's in Wales, don't you?
Wales,
besides mountains and a really cool national park. I haven't been there, but that's where Page and Plant wrote the acoustic stuff, Bronyar and all that. That Bronyar Cottage is in Wales.
So, okay.
Nice. Never knew that.
There's some trivia.
Nice. So yeah, they're a UK band, but from Wales. Don't say from England because we'll anger everybody saying that they're from England.
All our UK friends on the chat that are watching are going to get really pissed.
They're not from bloody England.
They're from Wales, Cardiff. Hey, Tom.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Welsh rock band or heavy metal band, whatever you want to call them, right? Formed in way back in 1968, 67 they formed. And they even had a demo apparently the following year, so in 68. So they actually had material out before Sabbath. I'd like to hear some of that if it's even out there, but yeah, then they were produced by Roger Bain right off the bat, so they share the same producer as Sabbath. And there's the first one there. That's the one we're gonna get into. So we'll start off with the first album, which Logan's showing off, which is this. Let's get a close up of that one. Really cool album cover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The thing.
Yeah. Always had cool album covers.
So Webb's okay. So I'll go through the songs. So let's see. We go at what do we got here? So we got. So yeah, the song we got Guts, we got Everything in My Heart, kind of like slash the author. They're separate on the thing, but I consider them kind of one song really, because they go into each other. Then we got this is where the wackiness starts. You got Nude Disintegrating Parachutist Woman. Sure.
That's a mouthful.
Then you got Rape of the Locks, All Night Petrol, or Petrol, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I guess it's a play on the word of gasoline, but it's also like Budgie. I don't know. Then You and I, and then Homicidal Suicidal. So Webb wants to start us off and talk about his favorite from this album.
Okay, well, I will gladly go first. You already said Roger Bain produced this album, and there's a lot of connection between their sound and Sabbath. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. I don't know if somebody didn't get proper credit. You won't. What does that say? You won't have this.
I don't know. It's too blurry.
You won't hear this Budgie chirping.
Oh, you won't.
Really?
You won't. You might hear birds chirping outside my window, though. Okay, so if we're gonna pick favorite song, I liked 4 or 5 really good ones, but I gotta say it. Nude Disintegrating Parachute Woman Shootist Woman is my favorite. This is Sabbath riff Iommi never wrote, is what I put. I like the drum sound. The production is good. I mean, for 71, I said it'd fit well in like Masters of Reality album by Sabbath.
Totally.
Love it. Yep. Yeah, love his vocal tone. I put the solo at 2 minutes is very good. Tony Borge.
Borge.
Don't know. Borge.
Maybe he's French. Borge. Oh, that's Italian. I don't know.
Borge. No, that doesn't sound right. But
we'll never get him on here now.
Solos, the more I listen to the catalog, his solos are kind of like Iommi and kind of sound like Jimmy Page, like Zeppelin 1 tone a lot. I mean, I heard a lot of Page kind of things going on.
Especially early on, yeah. Yes.
And I put the double time jam on this song at 3:20. We know because there it is. There's that Budgie, we got a good groove going, dun, 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 and then then that gallop that I mean it happens right around 3 minutes and it just smokes, and then the wails in the middle, that's very middle of Days of Confused.
Yeah, wrote the same. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which they borrowed from later on, but we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Came out of a couple years before. I put I felt like the solo was very Days Confused, Jimmy Page inspired. I said, what a headbanger. My honorable mention, it's just a great song. Honorable mention, I'm going to give one of those, is Rape of the Locks, which whatever the hell, I mean, I'm not even going to go into whatever that might mean, because it has that shuffle and it has that double time jam in the middle again. And then that's like the Budgie blueprint that they're laying down on the first album. So favorite one, cool. Nude Disintegrating Parachutist Woman. Yeah.
It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
We got to shorten that. Yeah,
it rolls right off the tongue.
And NDPW. There we go. We'll go with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well.
So Logan, what's your favorite?
NDPW.
There you go.
That's my favorite.
There you go.
I agree with that.
Logan.
Agree with everything Webb said. Pretty much starts with that great call and response type riff between the guitar and the drums, and the drummer's hitting the rims right on the snare when he's first playing it, and then they they build up in dynamics, and I love the little simplistic fills he does, like when he's following that off the toms and the snare. Love Burke's vocals on this song. And that riff, I think it starts on F sharp and it like moves up. It's kind of like blues structure is what I was based. The first section is because this song, this is the first song where these guys are starting. I guess the author too kind of has some different parts to it, but like this song is the one that really kind of starts to show what they would start doing further down the line with their like song styles and structures. And I mentioned the Days to Confuse thing that Webb did because yes, that's totally where they got that from. And then like after that, Tony starts playing like this jazz kind of thing, which reminds me of something off the first Sabbath album, kind of like The Warning maybe, or Behind the Wall of Sleep. He kind of does this little lead line like Tony Iommi would. And then the song comes back. This is what I like about these guys, because I'm not a big jam guy, right? I don't really like songs that last 27 minutes. So these guys do what those bands do in 27 minutes in like 9 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just the magic of them to me. I mean, 3 or 4 minutes of them jamming on this song, and then they go back into that heavy riff. I mean, I just love it. But yeah, Nude Disintegrating Parachutist Woman. And if we're gonna do honorables, I'm picking Guts because I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that riff. Oh,
yeah.
Forget about it.
Find like with this, you could pick any song, and I'm not going to argue that you're wrong. Or like, well, I mean, you can't do that anyway. Like with this band, I find like you pick anything off their albums, and you're like, yeah, I can't really argue that.
Yep.
70s
Yeah,
albums.
that's
Yeah. Like you could have picked The Author or go off the list with All Night Patrol. Like I still would have been like, yeah, it's a great song. Like there's just so much on here. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
like it says Sounds magazine kind of criticized it, but also praised it. They said it had a lot of good-natured foot tapping music,
Foot tapping.
but
What?
they find it
Foot stomping.
Here's where the really good compliment comes in. I find it infinitely preferable to Black Sabbath, and I have a feeling that Budgie might develop into something a lot more interesting. That didn't age well.
I wonder if like Sabbath had so much power after like Paranoid, and they were just like, we're going to keep this band, and then and then this comes out in 71, and they're like, the powers that be, we're gonna use some muscle and keep these guys kind of under the radar. I don't know. It could happen.
I don't know. Who knows?
Hard telling,
Yeah. So it was, I should mention the lineup. You got Burke Shelley on bass and vocals, Tony Borge on guitar, and Ray Phillips on drums. And yeah, it was recorded July 30th, it was recorded in 1971. Doesn't say the date, but released in July 30th, 71.
My liner notes, it says they took them 4 days to make this album.
Not
Crazy.
unlike Sabbath's first album that they
4
did
days.
a weekend or a week.
Yep.
So I wonder if it's a lot of just like live in the studio. That's why there's a lot of jammy stuff, right? I
And
wonder.
Roger
Yes.
Bain apparently. Sorry.
Says-
Go
He recorded in 4 days on 8-track tape, putting down the live tracks as if the group were actually on stage. So yeah,
Nice.
That's what Bain did with Sabbath's first record too. So it sounds like that Roger Bain just kind of sat back and smoked his cigarettes and just hit the button.
Record.
Yep.
Yeah. So for my pick, I went with the song that Webb mentioned was "Rape of the Locks," which is, if you look at the lyrics, it's about a guy's girlfriend cutting his hair all the time.
Oh,
don't cut my hair.
Right, don't cut my hair. It even says it at the very end of the song. You want to cut my hair. It sings it over and over again at the end. But yeah.
oh, that's right. I remember that now.
And I related to this because I always had people. I used to work at McDonald's, and my manager, you got to cut your hair if you want to keep working here. I'm like, whatever. And I used to think of this
But
song.
I don't want to keep working here.
But I don't want exactly. What? Exactly. That's mine. Yeah, and like you said, that riff, that I'm not going to imitate. I'm not even going to try. But yeah, the cool little lead riff or whatever you want to call it. And that solo where they start jamming in the middle. It's just such a cool song. And yeah, lyrically, it kind of makes you laugh because it's a little bit ridiculous. But and all their songs are very, very quirky, right? And this is no exception. Yeah, Rape of the Locks. It's just like a really good heavy blues jam. Love that song. I was going to go with Nude Disintegrating Parachutist Woman, but Rape of the Locks beat it out. So
look at us, guys. We're all in sync. We all.
Yeah.
This is so. We're so close.
we're in sync. Whoa, calm down, Timberlake.
Sorry. Only you would. You think of that
I
when you
love,
say
I
NSYNC.
love these CDs too. The cover because it shows the album cover and
Nice.
Cool.
different color for all the albums. So that's kind of cool.
But yeah,
I'm
we
glad we
gotta
have some visuals because I got nothing.
mention that "Homicidal Suicidal" was covered by Soundgarden years later. They do a great
Do a great version of it too. Yep.
Yeah, you can imagine Chris Cornell singing that.
Foreshadowing.
Sounds really, really good. So
Homicidal
yeah. Oh
Suicidal.
god, yeah. That's weird when you think about it that way.
Well, what's that last song? What's that last song on Super Unknown? Like Suicide?
Like Suicide? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a cool song. That's a cool song.
So then we move on to Squawk.
Squawk.
Which is Logan's. Logan, you're stealing my thunder. This is what it looks
I'll
like.
show off. Yeah, I'll show off the back stuff then.
There you go. Yeah.
Come on, guys. It's both of y'all's channels here.
I know. I'm just kidding. You start fighting on the show.
What did you with
happened? There we go.
Well, I left anyways. Had enough of this.
Well, is Squawk the sound a Budgie makes? Squawk?
I guess.
Is that the sound this Budgie fighter pilot makes? Look at that guy. Come on.
Well,
yeah, so it was this recorded 72, released September 1st, 72. So right away, like these guys are just pumping out stuff. And Roger Dean that did the artwork, who is famous for doing Yes and Asia album covers. You can kind of tell it's his artwork. One of his earliest, anyways. And then same lineup: Burt Shelley on vocals, bass, Mellotron, and piano.
Hold that picture up with all three of them again.
Oh, let me find
those guys. Okay, nice. I'm just going to go ahead and say the three of us are better looking than those three guys.
Doesn't Tony kind of look like a little bit? He has a little look of a Tony Iommi look to him too, which is the funny part.
He's
got the hair, the mustache. He kind of had that look too.
Well, the guy, the drummer in the back, kind of has a not Bill Ward, the other guy.
Yeah, he looks like Tony there. Holy crap!
Yeah. Wow.
Ray Phillips, the drummer, he does kind of have that.
This fellow.
Let's see if we match up. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's that. Don't want to meet him in a dark alley.
Well, go ahead with.
We're gonna. So we got whiskey. So we got Whiskey River, Rocking Man. This is no weird quirky songs. Maybe just one. Whiskey River, Rocking Man, Rolling Home Again, Make Me Happy, Hot as a Docker's Armpit, Drugstore Woman, Bottled, which is an instrumental, and then Young as a World, and then Stranded. So we're gonna get to Webb the Tire Fitter here and talk about Squawk and what his favorite is.
Well, Squawk. I've started realizing. What was the last song on the first album? We don't have to say, but
the last song. The
last song.
Yeah.
Homicidal.
Okay. Well, I start seeming to like a lot of their album closers starting here because I put Stranded as my favorite. I like that it's kind of a bouncy groove. I wrote searing solo. I'm stealing my adjectives from Pete Pardo. And I just think it I don't know. I just love the sound of it. I think it kind of has weird vocal, the backup vocals and the verses are kind of, I don't know, but that doesn't take away from how good the music is. And, it's one of their long songs at the end. It just stuck with me the most. And I wrote that Rockin' Man was cool. And I had to put Armpit. I said Armpit gets my honorable mention too. I mean, those three songs kind of stuck out with me the most. But if I had to pick one, I guess Stranded, even though it has Stranded or whatever, it does that weird, that's kind of like, doesn't sound like anything. Yeah. But it's just a cool AF song.
Hayward.
We got the viewers making Budgie sounds now.
We need somebody to have a pet Budgie on the show with them. Just keep it on their shoulder or something.
Yeah,
I thought about putting Budgie footage behind me. I thought about it. Like just have them
flying around it.
But Budgie, I mean, I never heard that is that just another name for a canary? Is it another name for I've never heard the word Budgie until I looked it up. It was.
Is it another name for like a parakeet or something? I don't even really know.
That's what I thought. So, yeah,
it's a short form for Budgie I don't know how to say this.
Oh yeah, it ends with the R.
Budgigar is like the full.
Yeah.
It's a type of
Why didn't they
parakeet.
go with
Though.
that?
It's a parakeet. Just call it a parakeet. I
In
guess
Canada, we say budgie though for all of them. We say budgie.
Oh,
So it's not
Nice.
just again
Cultural differences.
We use all the UK and European terms, right? We always.
Nope.
You know.
it's going to be a parakeet down here in the South.
Well, parakeet's not a cool band name.
We give you parakeet.
Come on, cockatiel.
Parakeet and cockatoo did a tour together.
Opening for the Birds early on.
Ooh, I set you up for that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Too funny.
They couldn't tour with Nugent because he had a song called Cat Scratch Fever, and they were afraid of him. Cat was going to eat them. Oh boy. All right. So so Logan's turn. What's Logan's favorite squawk song?
So I don't live in Georgia or anywhere near it, but yeah, me and Webb are pretty much in sync here because I fixed Stranded again. Love that song. And I don't mind the backing vocals. It doesn't bother me, you know. It's just of the time, you know. They're just helping Burke sing it, you know. I think it's kind of cool because they all sing that, and then Burke sings the verses lines. And I love it right off the bat because Tony takes a solo like right when the song starts. I mean, it's got that heavy and then it just like goes right into it. Also like the drumming on this one. The drumming because like at the start he plays the bass drum parts on the upbeats. I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of different, kind of something like Bonham would do maybe a little bit. And Tony goes halfway up an octave later on because they add another riff, of course, because they always like doing that. And Burke even gets a little bass spotlight towards the end of the track. And I noticed there's like Tony takes another solo later on. It kind of sounds backwards, like it's kind of like a backwards solo, which I thought that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And I like the ending. I said in my notes here that the ending kind of reminds me of something like how this scene's going down on the picture of the album, like the bird or the whatever, you know, the plane's coming down at you with them high notes. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's just a great blues rock, you know, kind of heavy rock jam. So yeah, Stranded. And if I was going to pick
before the show, didn't you? No.
I had to, buddy. I can't remember this stuff like some people.
They're like, let's screw with Sid and pick the same songs as each other. The entire...
Yep. Young as a World would be my other one, though. That's a great song.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, so I love this album. Like, this is probably one after Breaking Out of Hell's Rules, which was the first song I ever heard. For whatever reason, this was the album that I first listened to, like, really in full. So there's like 4 songs on here that I could have chosen, which were Whiskey River, Rocking Man, Hot as a Doctor's Armpit, and Drugstore Woman. Those are the songs that I'm the most familiar with. So those will always be my favorites on the album. But if I had to go with just one, it's the song about Logan, Hot as a Doctor's Armpit.
It's me.
So it's one of those really weird, quirky titles. A docker, I guess, is just someone that works on boating docks all day. So a song about a good-looking woman. I guess if you're working on boats all day, you're going to be hot and sweaty. So she must be very good-looking. I don't know. I didn't write the song. So, yeah. It's really funny. Really weird, quirky song title. But then the music. Oh, my.
Stick. I'm laughing at you. Get some Speed Stick. God, I remember that.
Some Speed Stick.
I don't even know what Speed Stick is, to be honest.
Like, it starts off with like this really like heavy riff at the beginning, this thunderous riff, and then it kicks in with like this kind of fun riff that his vocals go along with the entire time.
Yeah.
Yes, and they love doing that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
singing.
Thing, yes. Yeah, that's
he almost sings a guitar melody all the time. Especially on this song, he's like singing along to the guitar melody, and then in the middle it picks up and gets really fast, and there's this great solo in the middle. Just Toady goes off and just goes nuts on the solo. And then near the end, they do the whole War March, that whole thing at the end.
And they'll do that again later on.
Yep. And then like
they do, Docker. Docker knows.
And then even before, and then there's like even at the end, there's these other leads that are thrown in there. These really heavy. Oh, it's just such a great heavy song too. Like it's all these different changes. I love that song. Like I can just hear that in my head. It's one of those songs where you see the title and I can hear all the different rhythms and changes of it. And that solo is amazing. I love that song. So that would be my favorite. But it's a pretty decent album in general. So Stranded's a good, like I said, can't fault anyone for picking anything on. Like just all strong material. So we got 2 for Stranded and 1 for Hot as a Doctor's Armpit.
Cool.
That moves us on to Never Turn Your Back on a Friend, which is probably their most well-known album because you got Bread Fan as the opening song, which Metallica later covered and made pretty famous. So there was an interview with, I think it was Burke, where he basically said they made more money off of Metallica covers than their own material.
That's a cool looking guitar. Is that a Sunburst 335?
Looks like a Sunburst, yeah.
Man,
nice.
When drummers call out guitars, you know it must be good.
Yeah, more awesome artwork here. Another one by Roger Dean. That's a really cool album cover. Recorded in June 73. Released in June 73, recorded February and March 73. So you guys were recording stuff really pretty quickly. 3 albums in 3 years. I mean, that was the 70s, right? You did that back then.
Yeah. I got a feeling they probably recorded, they could probably lay down the basic tracks for all these songs, even though they're extended a lot of in like 4 or 5 days, and then just mix and all right, well, I'm gonna jump into it.
So let me get the tracks here.
I thought you did it.
No,
Sorry.
so we got Bread Fan. We got a cover of Baby Please Don't Go, which is a good song, but yeah. You Know I'll Always Love You. You're the Biggest Thing Since Powdered Milk. I love these quirky song titles. In the Grip of a Tire Fitter's Hands. This is Webb's song now. Then Riding My Nightmare, and then the long 10-minute epic, Parents. So what's Webb's favorite song? I'm pretty sure I know what he's going with, but we'll see. So Webb, what's your favorite?
Well, okay, so here we go. I didn't want to pick Bread Fan is my favorite song on the album, but I had to. Even though they do the riff for 56 seconds before it kicks in. I mean, that's one of the most badass riffs of the 70s. I mean, and they
rules,
knew it.
Man.
Yeah, so they knew it, and that's
it's
why they
memorable
did it for a
riff,
long time. And then you're just hearing the riff over and over again, but it's like it's jamming in your head, and then all of a sudden it hits that acoustic, that whoop, and that acoustic middle is just crazy. I mean, I was like, where the hell did that come from?
You mind if Webb, when that comes in, that just makes that riff work more because you've heard that riff 300 times, and then this comes in out of nowhere. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But it just makes it work.
Of course, and they stay with that acoustic kind of melancholy thing, which of course they have a lot of songs like that too, for like 2 minutes almost, and then of course it goes back into the riff, and it's just it just sticks in your head. That middle section, the acoustic section, reminds me of like something like Paul Di'Anno. It sounds like something off of Killers or one of those kind of acoustic ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
never even thought about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, when I heard it the 3rd or 4th time, it hit me. So that's it. I mean, that's my favorite one. I didn't know that my name was going to be, I would have picked, but I didn't pick that song. I put You're the Biggest Thing Since Powdered Milk as it's this killer standard Budgie already. And that would be my honorable mention, but I had to go with Bread Fan. So there you go.
Yeah, I always wondered what the hell that meant, but apparently it's bread as in slang for money, and the whole song is about not knowing what to do with the moral dilemma of not knowing what to do with your money, kind of thing.
Yeah, bread's been another word for money for.
Yeah, I always knew it was a slang, but I didn't have no idea what a bread fan was. Apparently, that's what it says. So yeah.
Bert just really liked bakeries. Yeah.
Have y'all seen the video on YouTube of them in the studio jamming this?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
That's cool footage. So
the only thing messed up about that is Tony's playing that acoustic part on an electric. I don't know if
I know. I saw that and you're like, come on.
Yeah, come on. But all right, I'll get into it if we're ready.
Yep.
Yeah. So I went with YTBTSPM. You're the best thing since Powdered Milk.
Biggest.
Babe. Whatever. Yeah, I wrote down best. Oops, my bad. But But so this song starts with something, I've gone on record not being really crazy about is, Webb, cover your ears, buddy. Because, but drum solos on albums, okay? It's not.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
As a drummer, you're
But-
with that?
Yeah, I mean,
But I like this one because it's got like that phaser effect. It's kind of cool. It doesn't last forever. It's like a minute and a half, I think. I think there's some charm to it. And Ray Phillips is a great drummer. I mean, great player. But and then this heavy bass and guitar dual riff comes in. Lots of like octave jumping on that. And I really love the interplay between Tony and Burke on this song. And the drums kind of take a more laid back approach on this one, which I thought was cool. Because, after a minute and a half of him going crazy, he kind of lays back a little bit on the groove on this one. And what really made me pick this track, I think Tony's playing on this track is probably some of his best to me. Great pentatonic licks that never go too outside what the rhythm section's playing. It just all fits together really well. And for a three-piece, this band was very syncopated and in line with each other at all times. I mean, it's just crazy to think, these three guys are making this much noise. Like I listened to the first album yesterday before I went to sleep, and I was just thinking that I'm like, it's just crazy how diverse and musically educated and knowledgeable these guys all were to make that much racket together. Just awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, really the part that kicks about 5.5 minutes in when Burke does his little bass thing kind of reminds me of like what Cliff Burton would do on Anastasia, Pulling Teeth or whatever. It's kind of got that when that part starts, and then Burke starts singing like the What Kind of a Woman, that part. I just love that. That last like 4 or 5 minutes of that is probably some of my favorite music they ever did. It's heavy, but it sticks with the melody, and it kind of switches up because Tony takes a solo and he starts playing the vocal line from Burke instead of them playing it together. I thought that was kind of cool. And I said track is almost 10 minutes and it doesn't get boring to me, not 1 second of it. So yeah.
We're definitely
I
in
love
sync.
all this album, man. I don't know.
Definitely in sync on this one because basically everything you said, that's my pick too. And that bass thing that you mentioned, almost a little bit Maiden in that too. And
Oh yeah,
Maiden
sure.
songs that does that Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
Kind of
I
has
think
that.
right
Yeah.
before the solo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
it's exactly
what-
like that. I think. Yeah.
Oh, Maiden had to listen to Budgie.
Of course.
You know it.
Okay, right?
Well, they recovered him. I mean, they covered him too, but
That's true. Yeah.
still.
Yeah, great song. Everything that Logan, everything that you just said. That ending part is awesome. Where it completely changes and it's like a different song at the end, and even his voice sounds completely
Oh
different.
man, yeah.
His voice is all over the place on this one song. You're like, what? This guy's such a great voice. I love his voice. Like, he never sang the same twice. Almost like just like every album, he almost sings differently.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
He was a phenomenal singer and a great bass player too. You hear the bass in their music.
That makes you love it even more, man. I mean, he's playing these lines and he's singing at the same time. It's like, what?
Oh yeah, it's like
Crazy.
a Steve Harris saying.
Well, Steve Harris kind of sang. He said every single lyric since he wrote them all, but he didn't have a microphone in front of him.
Yeah, so that's mine. You're the biggest thing since Powdered Milk. So so this was tough. Originally, I had Parents on there because I love that song, but
Oh man, Parents is great.
the seagull squawking at the end, or is
Yeah.
that actually seagulls or is that his guitar doing effect? I'm not really sure. I think it is seagulls, but sounds.
Yeah, I
like
went into this album thinking that I was going to pick Parents too, because I was like, I'm not going to pick Brad Fan, but I just couldn't help it. But it's just it's got is it sad or a melancholy tone to it the whole time? I mean, yeah.
But even Baby Please Don't Go, which is just a cover, I honestly like it better than the AC/DC version. Like I thought they did a good job with Baby Please Don't Go.
Yeah.
Didn't want to pick it because it's a cover, but I still thought it was actually and everything on this is good. Like even you got to give shout out. Even the acoustic stuff is almost like creepy. It's
probably well deserved to be the one people know. If anybody doesn't know this one, this is probably the album they should start with. To me,
sure.
I mean,
yeah.
that's just how I did. That's probably why I'm saying that. I guess I got biased, but yeah,
cool,
man.
We're taking lessons from Budgie. That's yes. whether enough people know that or not. But yeah, it's a shame.
They get acknowledged though they get name checked by a lot of bands. So I mean,
Oh, yeah,
the musicians were listening to them, but you know.
Yeah, when Burke passed away, there was all sorts of comments. Metallica made statements right away. There was all sorts of bands posted statements when he passed away in 2022. Not even that long ago, really. 3 years already. But so then we move on to "In for the Kill," which was again recorded in 1974, except for "Crash Course in Brain Surgery," which was recorded in 71.
Yeah.
So this is actually an older song, technically.
Probably should have been on the first album. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my CD reissue on the first. It's weird. I guess it was on. I think it was on. It was on the UK or the US version of the first album or something. I think I read that.
Okay.
So strange.
Yeah, released May 74.
74.
And then same lineup, sort of. Oh, not really. So we got the
new drummer.
So we got a new drummer. It's Ray Phillips still playing drums on "Crash Course in Brain Surgery" because, like I said, that's actually an older song.
Because it was 71. Yeah.
So then you had Pete Boot on drums, and this is the only album he actually was on.
Pete Boot. Then they gave him the boot.
Yeah, oh my god. Unfortunately, we lost
for a drummer though.
No, he did well. He did very well.
But we unfortunately lost Pete as well in 2016, I think it was. So he's no longer. So 2 of the 3 on this album are no longer with us, unfortunately. So, we got "In for the Kill," "Crash Course in Brain Surgery," "Wondering What Everyone Knows," "Zoom Club," "Hammer and Tongs," "Running from My Soul," and "Living on Your Own." So what's Webb's favorite?
Well, let's read my notes and find out. Okay, "In for the Kill" title track was, obviously people know that Van Halen, when they were called Mammoth and all that, they were and I've heard a cover. I've heard them, them playing in the backyard or something, and they do a pretty good cover of it. And it's that that badass heavy rock shuffle. They sound a lot more confident on this album, and I wrote initially that was my favorite, and then I put honorable mention "Living on Your Own," which is the one that does the Beck's Bolero in the middle. That maybe I think that the Docker was alluding to, dun, dun, dun,
yep,
dun,
that sure is.
Just
Well,
like
you got it.
Yeah, totally like the Jeff Beck group when they do it, Beck's Bolero and all that stuff, and then even James Gang did it in the Bomber too. So everybody loved that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say "In for the Kill" is my favorite. I don't know. There's a lot of good songs on here. I had a hard time picking. It's hard for me to pick a favorite song, but those 2 stood out to me the most: "In for the Kill" and "Living on Your Own." But there were others. I mean, that I could have picked 3 or 4, but I'm just going to say "In for the Kill."
Like I said, you could do it tomorrow when it's different, right? Like
I don't have much to say about any of those songs. They're just it's that Budgie sound, and it sticks with you, and you're like, yeah, that's really cool. And
it's a cool heavy riff. That dun, 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 dun.
Really dun, 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 and there's a great solo on every song. I mean, that's just their thing, I mean, Tony Borge, whatever, he knows how to solo. That guy has a sound. He has
some riffs too, like some
heavy. He's a riff master. Yeah,
great
totally.
Riff.
He's got it all, or had it all.
Yeah. So we're gonna head over to Hogan for his favorite here.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to the Zoom Club.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Song starts with some cool guitar chords, slides from Tony, where the drums and the bass come in. It's kind of got this. I think this is the first song really, because the first 3 albums are more like heavy, hard kind of blues kind of thing. This song kind of starts getting that funk element, F-U-N-K, not F-U other letter K. But they'll get more into the funky kind of thing later on.
Yes.
But it's got this heavy descending riff comes in after that slow, well, not slower, but damn it, kind of like softer section at the start. And I love what Tony does in that section too, because he switches between the bridge and the neck pickups. It's pretty awesome when he plays it, because he's like fucking he's going crazy with that. But yeah, I just love that song. It's got some nice 8 notes kind of drum groove going on in the verses, with Burke singing. I think it's like quarter notes on the bass during that section. And then the chorus, I mean, it's just like kind of anthemic, a little bit. Really love the drumming in that section too, because after Burke stops singing, Pete Boot just like goes crazy every time.
Yeah, he does.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, and especially in the second section of this track with the funk thing, when Tony takes the solo, there's a lot of the rhythm section really kind of does that in that part. That's probably one of my favorite Tony solos too. But really, any song on this album, he's just going crazy on it. Yeah, but yeah, that's probably what all I had to say about it. Zoom Club, almost 10 minutes. Again, like Powdered Milk, it doesn't get boring. I love every bit of it.
So Logan loves his powdered milk and his Zoom.
I drink my powdered milk in the Zoom Club.
So like Webb,
originally your dad asked a good question on the chat about Budgie touring the U.S. and obviously I'm sure they did in the Northeast.
I say they did in the 70s. Yeah, they would have. They would have done, because we'll get to that later. But there's a promotional tour thing for a album later on that we're gonna show off.
Cool.
Very funny.
Okay.
We'll get to that for a later album. But yeah, we'll get it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Teddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one that showed it to me. So yeah, like Webb, I was gonna go for the title track this entire time. I'm like, I don't even need to listen to the album. I know it's the title track. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me actually sit there properly, listen to it, go through it all again. And Zoom Club took over. So like Logan, I chose Zoom Club for all the reasons he said. That is awesome.
Love it.
Nice.
So we have we're not all in sync on this.
And their fan club is actually called the Zoom Club.
Oh,
that's funny.
Budgie Zoom Club. That's what they actually call it. Their fan club. So it's named after all the reasons Logan highlighted. He said it better than I could probably say it. But yeah, great song. That solo in the middle. This song has a little bit of the Zeppelin. Oh my God, Dazed and Confused a little bit as well.
There's several songs in their catalog that kind of have the Dazed.
Were they obsessed with Dazed and Confused?
It's like, let's form the band and that's our blueprint for all of our songs.
It's ironic because I don't think they were like a big drug or party band, yet they're like obsessed with Dazed and Confused.
I think that's what Pete Pardo said one time. Hammer and Tongs, it's like a second cousin to Dazed and Confused.
Oh, sorry, Hammer and Tongs, Hammer and Tongs also has that,
The slow halftime, and then you speed up for the solo. You double time it, and you bring it all back.
Yeah, Zoom Club,
thing. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Lots of great songs on here. And there's like quite a few, like In For the Kills, like 7 minutes almost. Zoom Club's almost 10. Hammer and Tongs is 7. Living on Your Own's like almost 9 minutes. So it's 7 albums, so you would think, oh, it's really short, but like their songs are like 9 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So then we move on to the first one I ever heard, Bandolier.
Bandolier.
However you want to say
I'm sticking to Bandolier.
The one with the Logan. Do you have this one to show?
Come on, Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I mean, Doc.
Well, I was waiting on you. I didn't know if you wanted me to show it or.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
So then, this is their, what album are we on here? 5th album.
5th.
So this was recorded in 75, released in 75, recorded in London, England. And so we got, Rockfield, Monmouth, Wales, Mayfair Sound, London. Oh, okay, there's a few different places. I guess there was a few different studios that they used. Okay. So then, we got Breaking All the House Rules, which was the first song I ever heard by them. Slip Away, Who Do You Want for Your Love? I Can't See My Feelings, I Ain't No Mountain. And then here comes the quirkiness. You got kind of 2 songs in one, but it's one song. You got Napoleon Bonaparte 1 and Napoleon Bonaparte 2. They'll play on the name Napoleon Bonaparte, right? So it's kind of funny. But it does actually have to do with Napoleon. It's not just a clever, funny song title. It actually does have to do with Napoleon. It's in the lyrics. So we're going to go to Webb, the tire fitter, for what's his favorite.
Right. So Bandolier was like 16 between the 2 releases. It was the longest they had between. So I'm wondering if they had a little bit of money or a little bit bigger budget, because this album kind of sound like the production value. I know Logan doesn't like to talk about production value, but it's all about the songs. And it's where's Grant when you need him? No, it
I've
just
heard people
sounds.
say
It
that, Webb,
sounds.
though. I've heard people say that this is the best
I get what
sounding
you
one.
mean. It doesn't have the raw sound of the original, the first couple, right? It's got more, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just.
yeah.
I think they probably took a little longer to make it and did a little, spent more time mixing and probably had a little bit more money, and they introduced a little. They start getting a little kind of that heavy funk. They start getting a little funky, and I think even on the next album. But all right, so it'd be real easy to say Napoleon Bonaparte 1 and 2 or is my favorite, and damn it is. I especially in the part 2 when it goes into kind of like the Zeppelin kind of doom, it's kind of a rewrite of Immigrant Song, but it's just so freaking cool. And the guitar solo he just goes off.
Oh, wow.
But I Can't See My Feelings is really good too.
Yeah, it's a good song.
I know, and I love how it kind of has like that. It has that kind of acoustic going on the verse. Yeah, strumming over, and I love that too. And it's got a cowbell.
It's got a catchy melody.
It's got a cowbell. Cowbell is always ready for visual.
Hey, it's a budgie bell.
It is. Yes. And so I put it's a tie. It's a tie for I Can't See My Feelings in
no ties. No ties.
He's pulling a Catino.
I've been in the school system too long. There's no winners and losers. It's a tie. Everybody wins. But okay, I'll say that it's Napoleon Bonaparte 1 and 2. I love the intro too, and it's the build up, and then it goes into that. I mean, that's just a classic, I mean, it's just so awesome. But I Can't See My Feelings is really good, and there's a few more great ones too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
So
I'm gonna let
cool, man.
Docker say
what the Docker is gonna say.
Yeah, Docker's gonna.
Well, I'm gonna be with George, I guess, because I'm breaking all the house rules.
Okay.
Yeah, love that song. But yeah, I agree with what Webb said. I mean, these last 3 we've talked about, I could pick any of them to be a favorite. I mean,
yeah,
I couldn't choose, man. I could try, but I mean, just wow, what a great run of albums. I mean, even the first 2. I mean, I love the first 2. Me and Sydney have talked about Squawk. I like it. It's not my favorite. Don't shoot me, all right? But but yeah, I'll get into breaking all the house rules. I just think it's it's got a great kind of great driving song is what I said. Kind of like going down the road and listening to that song. It's just perfect to me. I'm getting kicked out. Mom's gonna drag me by my ear.
Breaking all the house rules.
Oh yeah, that hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this great simple 4-note riff to kick off before it breaks into the verses. And I think Burke's probably best vocals to me are probably found on Bandolier. I really love his vocals on this album.
I agree.
He sounds great on these songs, especially on this one. Tony wastes no time to take a solo on this track. About a minute and a half in, we get one. It's kind of like the guys going for more like a boogie rock kind of style, which they do on the next album too, a little bit, and Impeccable a little bit. Yeah, funky too. Yeah, yep. But even then, I mean, this song changes like I don't know how many times, like 2 or 3 times. All these different riffs, I love them all, man. But yeah, I think the last one that they do about 4 or 5 minutes in, that's like one of those magic kind of music moments to me. I just love that riff that comes in there. That one too, but there's one after, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's killer.
There's 20 riffs in the songs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like
all of it. Yeah, it's all killer. I mean, and it kind of does the Speed King thing, like you like to talk about a lot towards the end. Yeah, it's just kind of different. It's like yeah,
a little bit.
It's a little different though. But yeah, it's hard to beat it to me for an opener for these guys. So
yeah. They have strong opening tracks. I don't think there's like a weak opening track on every. Well, we'll get to that. But yeah, it's a strong opener. I should have gone with this because it's my first Budgie song I ever heard. And I did like it. Logan might shoot me. I find it drags on a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
He kind of does the riff too many times. Could have trimmed it down to maybe 5 minutes, not like 7.5. But still a great
I guess
song.
there's really not a lot of soloing in that song either when you think about it, besides the first.
Well, the solo is great. I love all the different riff changes, but there is the one part where he kind of just repeats that riff over and over, but it's still an excellent song. That's great way to start your album, but I have to go with myself here because I'm so full of myself. I'm picking my name, going with Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, short people are short-tempered. No,
Yeah.
Napoleon.
Always afraid of getting stepped on.
Yeah, pretty much. Napoleon Bonaparte 1 and 2. Yeah, just what a great song. That whole at work I'm singing "Hold Me" all the time. I'm thinking I'm gonna get pulled into the office and are you okay? And we heard you were screaming "Hold Me" in the back room. Do you need someone to hold you? Always in my head. It's just such a great that starts off like almost like a ballad. You're thinking, okay, it's gonna be a ballad, but then no, it just kicks into like this heavy song and it kind of has like that maiden gallop throughout.
Yep.
Kind of has
For
that
sure.
going.
Yep.
And then that solo, it's probably I'd say Docker's Armpit is probably my favorite Budgie solo. It's close. It's hard to say. So, certain days it'll be one song, the next day it'll be but this has to be one of my top. Probably my favorite Budgie song, I would say, is Napoleon Bonaparte 1 and 2. So
Cool.
I had to pick. This was the easiest. I was like, what album was that on again? Oh, this one. Okay, well that's my favorite. So that was an easy choice. And then that whole wall, he goes nuts on the wah-wah. And it's just and then there's like a gong in the middle, it sounds like. And you'd think you'd think that's the end of the song. Yeah. You would think that's the end of the song, but then it goes back into the riff again. Oh, okay, it's not over yet.
We need a gong here.
We need a gong. That band T-Rex, they had a hit with Bang a Gong. We got to bang a gong in this album.
Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah. So
the chat got a little dark. I brought up the missing and murdered children in Atlanta in 1980.
Yeah, way to go, Webb. Damn.
I wasn't alive in 1980, so.
No, it's all good. It all worked out except for the kids.
Oh boy, Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I forgot to mention, of course, Steve Williams is the drummer on here. Pete Boot was gone. He, like you said, he got the boot. Haha.
Yeah. And he remained the drummer, right? Steve.
Yeah, Steve was with him till so he was there ever since.
It's weird. I just thought of this. There's 3 different drummers on the first 6 albums, but they all.
The third one stayed.
Yeah, but they all kind of sound similar. You can't go, I can tell that drummer's a lot better than that drummer.
No.
They all kind of fit.
I was thinking that too. Yeah. It's not like Priest, You can tell in Priest when there's different. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
But
when Dave Holland came in, yeah.
So we move on to If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules, another wacky song title. For those who don't know, there's a patriotic, like British English song, kind of like I guess for Americans would be similar to like I guess God Bless America or America the Beautiful, that kind of thing. Like a patriotic British song called oh my God, what's the original title? It's Britannia Rules the Waves. Sorry. Yeah, there's a song called Britannia Rules the Waves. It's like a British like patriot song. So there's kind of a play on that with the song title. If I were Britannia, I'd waive the rules. Again, being with their sense of humor. So again, you got the same lineup as the previous album. You got Burke, Tony still on guitar, and you got Steve Williams again on drums. So we got funny, again, right off the bat, funny song titles. Anne and again, like it's somebody's name. Anne, and the last name is Neggen, so like it's somebody's name, but you put it together and it's Anne again. Yeah. Then you got the title track, If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules. Your Opening Doors. Quackter and Bureaucrats, not bureaucrats, because I guess cat, Budgie, I don't know.
Those jokesters.
Sky High Percentage. Heaven Knows Our Name, which I'll mention Tony Borgia is actually singing on. And then we get to Black Velvet Stallion. So that should have been Logan's nickname, the Black Velvet Stallion.
Yeah, that fits him.
Maybe, I don't know.
Stallion. He's just been Stallion.
So we're going to go over to the tire fitter to talk about If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules.
Yeah, I had to go wash the oil off my hands after the tire fitting. Okay, this album, I don't know. It didn't click with me as much as the other ones. But, I mean, it's good. And you guys might be like, oh, my God, I love this album. But, it was released 7 months after the last album. So they really did this one quick. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something to that. The title track is the one that stuck with me the most. It's got that funky, heavy riff. They definitely kind of pulled in the funk and the boogie a little bit, I think, on this album. And it sounds really good again. The production value. Kiefer's listening, so he likes production value. And
my ears.
I know. Come on, Docker. And there's some bars of 7 in there, and I'm always like, I love when they throw in 7 or throw in a bar of 9 and another one coming up. And I went through the album. I was not familiar with it, and the title track is the only one that like grabbed me. They're all good in a way, but that was the only one that, like I said, okay, that's a cool song. So you guys will probably say more about it than me, but I go with the title track. So is the best one.
Well, I do too, Webb. So yeah.
Knocker.
No.
Wow.
I love this one, man. I love it.
It's
good. It's weird. It's really good. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I think it's their most probably prog song, really, if you're gonna say it's a progressive song. Because this one like goes from like a heavy riff, and then it's got like this funk style groove, right? And then it changes again into this like light, soft kind of thing, which they they go through these things in like less than a minute. It's like, what in the world, man? And the way Burke's singing this stuff and he's playing those bass lines, I mean, it's just, this is wild to me. But crazy talent in this band. I think that's why I enjoyed this song so much. Just great stylistic changes throughout. And I think when it hits that light melodic part the second time and it's got them like backing vocals, it kind of has like a Queen thing to it a little bit. Maybe not too much into that style, but a little bit. And then it changes again towards the end because like they're doing that lighter kind of style, and then the drummer starts doing the quarter notes on the bass drum, and then it just changes again. It turns into this like funk part, which is like the chorus section really, because that's when Burke sings the "If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules," and I love that riff in that section. And then it kind of fades off in this funk kind of thing. But yeah, I said it's like a musical journey kind of, this song. I mean, this is crazy. There's not really a lot of heaviness to it, I guess. I think that first riff is pretty heavy. If they like up the distortion a little bit on that'd probably be one of their heaviest riffs, I think. But yeah, like Webb was saying, they do like a bar of 9, a bar of 7, and it goes between that and like 4/4, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's just all over the place. But yeah, I just feel like I hear something different every time I hear this song. And I'm not going to say this is an out-and-out classic, but, I think it's got some good tunes on it. I think it's decent. It's a decent album. So yeah. It doesn't really compare to the 3 that came before it to me. But
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, you're going to hate me. I have a bit of a different take on this. This is
Napoleon's is going to be his favorite album.
I can strike this down as my least favorite of probably all their 70s albums.
Yeah.
I could see that. Maybe, yeah.
I actually don't like the title song at all. It's just not. It's not my wheelhouse. That whole kind of. It's almost, to me. I almost hear disco beats in it.
I just think it kind of is I think it's more like I'm not saying this to be like rude towards you, but like if you like listen to music to be like you know what I mean? I think if you like know the music, like structures and stuff, I think that might have something to do with it. Which maybe they shouldn't have made a song like that. I don't know, because I bet you're not the only person who says what is this song about, because it like changes every 5 seconds. I mean,
right. And it does have that, like what you said, Sid. I mean, it kind of has a disc. I mean, at 76, I don't know. That was when all the funky stuff was selling, and
that's my issue with it. I'm not saying it's a terrible song and no one should. It's still just not my thing. That disco beat is what bothers me with it. But yeah, like you said, there is tons of excellent changes. It's not just the steady beat and nothing else going on. There is other stuff.
Right, yeah.
But what is your favorite?
This album I struggled with because there's only really few songs that I almost went with Heaven Knows Our Name, which is weird because it's a ballad. And it's got that Queen kind of thing at the end of it. But
that for sure does, yeah.
I had to go with the Black Velvet Stallion. That's great. And the whole song.
That's a great song, man. Yeah.
That was the other one I wrote down, though, that kind of grabbed me, was the Stallion.
I love Tony's solo on that song, man. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not go with that.
the song really doesn't change that much. You just got like that one strumming pad, and then that bass line pretty much stays the same for the most part, most of it.
Yep.
But then it's an 8-minute song, and then that solo kicks in. He just goes nuts, kind of like this fast but almost bluesy solo. There's so much feel in that song, in that solo.
Yeah.
And then it's
For
this
sure,
weird
man.
thing at the end where he's doing the solo and it doesn't really end. It's kind of like the song cuts off.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
I
it's kind of like that toll or
first
the bell or
heard that, I'm
whatever.
like, did this mess up or something? I'm like, well, where's the rest of it? And I'm like, oh, okay. This is really weird. This is a really weird ending to the song. But yeah, he goes nuts on the guitar. So that was easy from this album. That was probably the outside of Napoleon. This was probably my easiest pick to do from any of these, because I love that song actually. Black Velvet's Down. That'll probably make my top 10 Budgie songs if I were to do one.
Well, you know what? They had 6 albums in less than 5 years.
Wow.
So you know, first album July of 71, 6th album April of 76.
Yeah.
So they were getting, you know, maybe, I don't know,
A little fatigue.
a lot of songs to write. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we move on to Logan. Doesn't have this one, do you?
I have it.
With the cat.
Oh, you do have that. Okay. Wow, you got that.
Cool.
Nice.
I've got I just don't have Cuckoo Land and I don't have the last stage.
Okay.
But
so yeah, we got Impeccable, recorded in 77, came out in February 78. They actually, at this point, this was the last album with Tony. He left after the album was released. But they actually moved to Elmer, Ontario, Canada. They actually were living in Ontario. Because they left Wales, moved to Canada to try to break our market or just to North America in general. So
better tax laws.
Because Elmer is a town of today has 7,000 people.
Wow.
So it's an odd place. You'd think you would go to Toronto or a big city or something. It's kind of strange that they went to this little small town in Canada, but yeah, it's very strange. But that's where it was recorded. And yeah, so we got Melt the same lineup, Burke Shelley, Tony, and Steve on drums still. We got Melt the Ice Away, Love for You and Me, All at Sea, Dish It Up, Pyramids, Smile Boy Smile, I'm a Faker Too, Don't Go Away, and here's another clever title, Don't Dilute the Water. I'm not sure if that's even physically possible, but oh, and I have to show this. Here's a promo poster for the tour. Yeah, this will make you guys laugh. Hopefully, we don't
I've got it in here. I've got it in here, but I'll let you show it.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh my God!
After a year in America,
well, you know, in the UK, that word is used all the time for.
Oh, it's funny.
Not what we usually think.
Well, I'm sure they meant it in 2 ways, but yeah.
Of course they did. Well, of course they did.
Their new album is Impeccable. Literally, it's called Impeccable, and they're saying it's great. Yeah, funny. But, yeah.
But see, look, they're back to boogie because I mean they kind of that's indicating they're a boogie rock band. They're not really boogie rock.
Bird carrying the cat. Oh, Logan, you got to show the back of the album cover actually.
Yeah, I've never seen the back.
It's kind of like one of them Pat Travers, you know how he joked like, right, and then the bird's carrying the cat away.
Yeah, they use it's the same image too that they used on that promo. Yeah,
cool.
So it's kind of like a joke.
It's funny. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
I don't know about you guys, but this was the hardest one for me to find one song because I think all of this is really good. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of it I'm not saying it sounds the same because it doesn't, but like it's just hard to differentiate, I guess. Uh-oh. He had to leave. He said, I'm gone.
He got cut off. Okay, well, I guess we'll go to you and then we'll back in.
All right, so yeah, like I was saying, this one was pretty hard to pick one to me because I like all this album pretty good. But yeah, I went with Pyramids.
Sorry.
Shut up now. Webb is back. Let him talk. Continue, Logan. Just continue.
I hit a wrong button.
I went with Pyramids here, just so Webb knows.
Cool.
And I think where I got it here. I love Tony's solo. In the section, like in the middle part. And I love that stop-start section right after the solo. It's pretty cool. And another solo starts up, and then they go in like faster tempo for it. Pyramids, the song, like that section, I'm not really crazy about it. It's okay, but like the solos for that, I mean, I just love that. I mean, it's got like that Budgie kind of like what we were talking about. Like they change up a lot of rhythms and different sections of songs and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of lean. A lot of this album leans on the funk and the rock more than what they were doing previous to me. But yeah, and that main guitar line has very anthemic as well, and I think it's just as memorable as Burke's vocals on here to me. Like when I think of this song, that's what I think of. But yeah, I'm with Pyramids. So yeah, we'll let Webster go now.
Well, guess what? I wrote Pyramids also, and I love the sound of this album. Like you were saying, it's a little sharper, a little cleaner. I don't know if they were headed towards the new wave of British heavy metal sound, which they really jump into on the next album, obviously with their new guitarist, but that's later. So I wrote Pyramids, but I'm jumping away from it, and it's Don't Dilute the Water.
Wow. Okay.
I love the different feels and grooves of it. There's definitely a really cool breakdown that goes into when I was talking about going into a section of 9, they throw a little 9/8 section in there. It almost kind of has a heavy Southern rock sound to me. I don't know. I think it's, and they definitely do when they get their new guitarist. Budgie led the new wave of Welsh heavy metal. That's good, Kiefer. That's classic.
Kiefer knows.
They did. They were the pioneers of it. And but I just like that song. I had written down Pyramids because I love the bouncy, heavy verses and that synchronized section in the middle and the blazing solo. Budgie, you're bad. That's so funny. How do you talk over that? You can't. But I'm gonna say Don't Dilute the Water is my favorite. But I agree with a little bit of sameness, like the Docker himself said, that all the songs kind of have a similar sound on this one. They definitely, it's a little more straight ahead, a little more concise songs. Are there any really long songs on this one?
I think Dilute's the longest one.
Dilute the Water is the longest. It's like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the longest one, and it's the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. The closing.
Like a lot of closers.
So I went with the song, the opening track that Megadeth covered, "Melt the Ice Away." Love that song. I can see why Megadeth covered it. It suited them too. So yeah, just cool, fun song. That solo was really good too. It's a really cool solo on that. I was gonna go with Pyramids. Both have chick singers. Oh, come on, Kiefer.
He's talking about Epica. You can't compare this and Epica, Kiefer. Come on.
No, he's going to shake up this chat. He loves doing
He's talking about Dave Mustaine and Burke Shelley. He's saying they both sound like women. Yeah.
Well, no, he's just talked about Epica is what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know he mentioned that too, but he says earlier in the chat. Yeah, "Melt the Ice Away." I think it's a good song. It's just that it's almost like just kind of like an up-tempo bluesy, not bluesy, but I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a neat tempo, but yeah. Fun.
But it's got does like the Black Dog thing a little bit.
Yeah, a little
stops
bit.
And anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Who is Epica? Not very epic. Not heard of them. Ouch. Shots fired.
You see what Kiefer just said?
Kiefer. Never.
Oh my God! They have that stupid song about they don't like parents. That's not what it's about. Oh my God.
See, Kiefer knows how to just he can shake it up, man. He knows.
He's stirring the pot, man. He's stirring the pot.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. He's good at it.
Yeah. So we head on over to an EP now that came out before their next album. So at this point, Tony was out, and they brought in Big John Thomas. Just John Thomas, I guess.
As opposed to Small John Thomas. Small John Thomas went another direction. He went folk. He went to a folk.
Oh my God. So yeah, it was "If Swallowed, Do Not Induce Vomiting." Logan doesn't have this one, so
nope. I thought maybe it was in the liner notes for Power Supply, but it's not. There's no pictures of it. I mean,
supposed to be done like a poison bottle, I guess, because it's got the logo on.
So I'm assuming Big John Thomas is in the middle.
Yes.
With those flaps, with the little flaps on the jacket.
Yep.
Ah, jeez.
So we got.
There he is.
So we got.
Napoleon and I were talking Big John Thomas before Logan got on.
Here, you want to tell that story live on the? I have to use the washroom. I will be right back. You want to tell that story with Logan, and I'll be right back.
Okay, it wasn't much of a story, but I'll stretch it out. I can do that. That sounds
stretch
fun.
it out.
Anyway, sorry. I'm not going to stretch it out visually. Anyway, Big John Thomas was in a kind of a Southern rock outfit called the George Hatcher Band that started like mid 70s. George Hatcher was the lead singer. It looks like if you look them up, they look just like a Outlaws, Molly Hatchet kind of, but they were, 75. So they were kind of when the Outlaws started and all that stuff. But he sounds kind of like Joe Cocker, this George Hatcher guy. And it was kind of,
nice.
I clicked on a few songs and it was kind of cool. And you could hear, but when I heard Big John Thomas soloing on that, I was like, okay, yeah, he took that sound straight over into Budgie. And that guy's just smoking on guitar. He's more of a shredder,
Yeah, for sure. He's got a Skinner shirt on in that picture.
Oh, well, there you go.
You can't really tell, but it says Leonard Skinner on it.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like who he looks like? I don't know if you know the Outlaws much, and I kind of like him and I kind of don't, but I love Southern rock. But
yeah, I know.
He will be the fourth lead guitarist for the Outlaws. Because that's what he looks like. Because then they had three on stage all the time, and I think
I've got their live album. I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah, Molly Hatchet.
But yeah.
But anyway, that's where he came from. So yeah. I'd read off the songs and do Sid's job, but I don't have it in front of me. There's like 5 songs on it, I think. 4 songs.
I think there's 4. I think there's 4 if I remember right.
So I'm wondering, like, if he joined the band and they're jamming and trying to get their sound with him, and then they said, "Hey, we've got some songs, and we're not going to put out something until the end of the year in 1980. Let's just record these songs and to see how it sounds." And must have sounded good enough to put it out.
What a stark difference between Impeccable and this too. Even the EP, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, they don't even sound like the same band anymore. Which I guess they're not, kind of, because But
yeah,
I think Tony and John were very, very different players.
Right, and what you said though about Burke's vocals sounding different. I mean, they really. I mean, like you listen to once you get to like even on Impeccable. You're like, wow, is this the same? I mean, they definitely probably said, hey, Burke, that's enough with the wailing. That's enough with the let's come in with it. Let's deliver them a little differently. And definitely started by this time. By the time they got to this, it was definitely so
for sure. Yeah, cool.
I stretched it out.
I'll have to go back and watch this to see what was said. Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch what I missed.
You didn't miss much.
No, just talking about the band that he was in.
Yeah.
Okay. So Big John Thomas was in. I guess this was just off of his stint with that band.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think he came straight from they
okay.
Just jumped right over.
That's cool. So we got Wildfire. We got High School Girls.
Ooh.
Which is, I don't know how old they were when they wrote that.
Come on, man. Don't write a song about high school girls.
Probably in their 30s. I don't know. High School Girls.
Hey, what's wrong with that? Come on, Webb.
Well, no Christine 16 or she's only 17.
Someone's knocking at my door.
It's a high school girl.
I might have to go check that out because my wife's out shopping. Can I go? Let me go jump and see what's happening.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Well, actually, it's probably somebody selling something.
Go to witness a murder live on camera.
I'm going to peer out the window. Yeah.
Someone breaking in. Uh-oh. So we got Wildfire, High School Girls, Panzer Division Destroyed, and another wacky title with the Lies of Jim, the E-Type Lover, whatever that means. We hear shots calling
911. There's no Elle, come on.
I mean, he's in Georgia.
I got Elle worked up about the Atlanta child murders. Now she's all worried about me.
That's funny. All right, so what is Webb the Tire Fitter's favorite off of the EP?
Well, look, they're going crazy on these songs. I mean, just because I was telling when you left, just saying that this guy smokes on guitar. I mean, it's like he's out of the gate every time he's ready to solo. It's like he can't wait to do it, and he goes off. I wrote Panzer Division Destroyer, and it has the Kiss Creatures of the Night riff, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I think it does.
this is older, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 years ahead of it.
Yeah.
Even Kiss
Damn.
was listening to Budgie.
Copied them again. What the heck?
I know. So I didn't write really much about the song. I just wrote it down as my favorite, and I listened to these. I went through these 4 songs or 5 songs twice.
If Kiss were to cover Budgie, they'd probably cover High School Girls.
Of course they would. Gene Simmons would. And
Oh yeah.
it would be the follow-up to Christine 16. And she's 17.
The sequel. Yeah. She's older now.
But I didn't write anything down about the song. I just wrote that it was really cool, and it was the one that really just, except that the riff sounds like Creatures of the Night.
It does actually. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's it. So Docker can add to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the same song I picked. So
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure I'm going on a limb. I'm pretty sure that's the song Sydney picked. So but yeah. Got a great riff to it.
Yeah.
Love the small changes during the verse section that the whole band does on that main riff. Then it breaks into that groove in the in the minute and a half to it. And the only thing, the biggest difference between this kind of Budgie and like the Tony Borge era is kind of they keep it. I don't want to say they keep it more simplistic. I mean, kind of in a way. I mean, they do a lot of changes still, but like this song, I mean, they just do like how regular bands would do like an A and a B section, and instead of going off on a crazy jam for like 5.5 minutes or something, it's still killer.
Heavy metal song, right? Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about all I'd say. I mean, it's killer lead, everything about it. I mean, and this one was new to me. I never listened to this EP until we did this. So
didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, so I'm going with my favorite thing in the world, High School Girl. No, I'm kidding.
I need a rim shot back there for that one.
No, yeah. For me, like I heard when I heard Power Supply, because like I think it was a '93 CD reissue, and there's other reissues of it, includes the EP at the end. And like,
yeah, see, this one doesn't. That's why I never heard
it. I always thought they were the last 4 songs on the album. I really had no idea that they were actually part of it. I ended up buying the CD on Amazon and then looked at it and I'm like, where's the last 4 songs? I'm like, what? Why did I get some weird edition? And then I realized, oh my God, it's from the EP, of course. So, but yeah, we got a sweep here. Panzer Division Destroyed, easily by far the best song out of the 4.
Yes.
Wildfire is a close second, but it's basically a whole lot of Rosie.
Yeah,
I remember.
With a little bit of Rock and Roll by Zeppelin, kind of a little bit of mix of both. But
I remember the Rock and Roll. I almost wrote, it sounds like
Lies of Jim's a good, fun one too. Even High School Girls, they have silly lyrics, a decent song, but that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, by far, Panzer Division Destroyed is the highlight. That's great song, just a fast, high energy, heavy metal song, and it is Creatures of the Night. Yeah, but I honestly think this is a better song. I don't know. I like this song. It's a really good, solid, heavy metal song. So just get that chugging riff throughout. Yeah, great song. So then we move on to the full length that followed this up in the same exact year, Power Supply. This came out October 1980. I forgot to mention they left Canada, went back to Wales for this because I guess the whole trying to break through in North America thing didn't work out. So
got a great live shot too.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
cool. Awesome. So yeah, Power Supply, same lineup here. You got Berg, John, and Steve, and yeah, we got the songs. We got Forearm Smash. Again, another weird song about. From what I can tell, it's a song about boxing. Really weird. Forearm Smash, Hellbender, Heavy Revolution, Gunslinger. You got the title track, Power Supply, Secrets in My Head, Time to Remember, and Crime Against the World. So let's Webb's
All
favorite.
right. So I originally wrote down Hellbender because it just grabbed me with that riff, but then I was like, it's kind of too repetitive with it. And after a couple of listens, Gunslinger was my favorite. I like that acoustic start, and then then it goes into that the metal gal that Iron Maiden before, well, same time as Iron Maiden basically here, but and it just goes into a smoking solo, and Big John Thomas just goes off. And this was their new wave of Welsh heavy metal. I mean, they're in it now, they're in that. So, and they do it well. I think they do it well. This album's great. I mean, this album's pretty good. I mean, it was hard for me to pick, but those are Hellbender but Gunslinger's my favorite. Hellbender was like an honorable mention. And but there's a lot of good quality songs on it. And there you go.
For sure,
Probably
man.
Probably their first, I guess, true heavy metal album. I guess they got rid of the whole blues element, right? For the most part, and it's almost an AC/DC-ish at times. And
yeah, I agree.
What they were going for, yep.
So what's Logan's favorite here?
I went with Secrets in My Head.
Wow, okay.
I was
cool.
Thinking Gunslinger. I was thinking about it because I like everything Webb said. That's a killer song. But I like Secrets in My Head. It's got like a heavy riff, and Bert like just how the early stuff he kind of sings along with the chorus line and the guitar line before breaking down into this open chord section. And it goes back and forth between these two. The song's not very long. I think it's like 3.5 minutes or something. But it's got a great solo. Even then, like this band, I mean, they kind of kept it kind of short for most of the stuff. I guess Forearm Smash is kind of long. I think it's like 5.5. But there's a bunch of soloing in that song, so that's probably why. But John Thomas, did a great solo in this song. And I think Bert kind of starts sounding, I know me and Sydney talked about this week. He kind of starts sounding a little different on this one to me. But even like you're saying, he sounds different on like every album. So I guess you can't really say that. But to me, he kind of gets a little bit lower. But he still does higher stuff on this.
Right.
So,
and also we lost John Thomas. He passed away in 2018. So
yeah, I think an album like this is just a detriment to the band that they could go from something like Impeccable and then put another full length out like this, and it's nothing like that,
Night and day. Well, your guitar player can change things, right? If they have a completely different style.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely more metal. I mean, definitely, because his guitar tone is just more, Board was more the classic 70s, right? Kind of tones, and more Iommi and Zeppelin and stuff, and Page and stuff like that. This guy's total like this. I don't know. It's definitely more metallic sound.
For sure.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
100%.
No. Yeah, like this comment. If they put on makeup and silly clothes, they might have sold records. Maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
They were on MCA and RCA, so probably not.
Yeah, MCA, man. We've talked about that how many times? Well, look at Triumph.
Creighton always talks about MCA.
Music Cemetery of America.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got So mine, I went off so we had all 3 different picks for this, which is good. It makes it interesting. So I went with, I got a good reason for this too. So me and Logan were talking in private, and he kind of said that he doesn't find the album amazing because it's like it loses that classic Budgie sound. Like it's a good album, but it's kind of more 4 on the floor kind of thing. And I'm asking him, I'm like, well, what kind of songs don't really work for you? What would you say is your least favorite? My favorite was his least. He said if he were to redo this album, he would take some of the songs off and put the ones from the EP on there, and he would take off my favorite song. He didn't know it was my favorite when he said that.
Panzer should be on this album, though, I think.
Panzer belongs on that. So I went with Heavy Revolution.
Okay. I don't remember it. I can't remember that one.
See, my reasoning for this was his vocals on this. That was a big part of it. I like the music, and the solo was great. It's a fun, simple song. But the reason I like this because I find there's like a genius part with the songwriting in this one part. Because I don't know if you picked up on it, you would have to go and listen to it again, and then I explain it, you'll go back and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't even realize that. So there's a part in the chorus where he says, "Shaking in the night, it's a heavy revolution." He sings that part 3 times throughout the song. First time he sings it, he just sings it like in his normal like singing voice or whatever. Second time, he screams the part "Shaking in the Night" and sings "It's a Heavy Revolution." The third time, he screams both parts. So I thought that was really
Yeah, that's pretty cool,
cool,
man.
and
Yeah.
I thought that was cool and clever how they did that. That was obviously done on purpose. How like you go from singing both parts, then scream one part and sing the next, and then you scream both at the end. I love that, and I love that third part when he screams both. His voice just gets so raunchy and screechy, high pitched on that. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that again. I didn't give this album enough play.
so yeah, go back and listen to that and just pay attention to that part in the chorus, and you'll notice how he sings it different and his voice on this, the voice is different, but for whatever, just the way he sings, I hear a lot of Buzz Sherman from Moxie in his voice at times.
Okay,
He's got a range that way.
that's good. That's a good comparison.
Especially, more so on like when he does ballads, though. I find like when he does ballads, he kind of has the same voice as Buzz on the ballads. But even
Does
when
he sound like Lemmy a little bit? Maybe that, I don't know. There was one song I was playing and my wife heard it and said it kind of reminded her of Lemmy.
he
I don't
gets
remember
The
what
Ace
album
of
it was,
Budgie?
though.
The Ace of Budgies?
it's a Budgie. He gets pretty raunchy on some of the stuff.
Yeah, not quite as growly as Lemmy,
No.
but the Buzz Sherman
knew-
was better.
His voice is
Yeah,
all over the
well-
map, though. Like, he's got such a good range. Him and Buzz are like, I think, 2 of the most underrated singers in rock. Like, just
Yeah.
Yeah, they go crazy. Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, we lost John Thomas too. He passed away, and yeah, he had quite a bit of tragedy with this band. Pete Boot, who played on In for the Kill, died in 2016. Then 2018, we lost John, and then 2022, we lost Burke. So
Well, rock star lifestyles, you get in your 60s and all bets are off once you get in your 60s, I think, with these guys.
I think Pete was Parkinson's.
Oh, sorry.
John.
I said that.
John was pneumonia, and then Burke was COPD. So all 3 of them went through like these horrible, nasty diseases and illnesses.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? All 3 of them ended up with, yeah. So then we move on to Night Flight. I almost said Nightlife, Thin Lizzy.
Yes.
Night Flight, which is a really cool album cover. It's kind of neat.
That is cool.
This
No,
again,
you guys know who did that, right?
yeah, it's, Derek Riggs.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks very maidenish, you can tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Power Slave with the
Yep.
song's got the period. Yeah.
This came out October 2nd, 81. And yeah, artwork by Derek Riggs. Same lineup again. And we got I Turned to Stone, Keeping a Rendezvous, Reaper of the Glory, She Used Me Up, Don't Lay Down and Die, Apparatus, Superstar, Change Your Ways, and then Untitled Lullaby. Yeah, the goofy songs are kind of gone on here.
Yeah.
The goofy song
Yep.
title.
Yeah, they've changed their style by now. I mean, I think once they got rid of Tony, or once he walked or whatever,
Yeah.
they totally went a different.
So what is your favorite? I have a feeling we're probably going to be all on the same page on this one, but we'll see.
Well, this album didn't do much for me at all.
Yeah, see, I'm the same.
But I wrote I Turned to Stone is the one that stuck out. Yeah, I think it has a kind of a Dokken acoustic riff sounding before Dokken. It kind of sounds like George Lynch a little bit. And there's a really cool change of pace 4 minutes in, and just the absolutely smoking adrenalized solo by Big John Thomas. And I mean, does he solo for like? I think he solos for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that solo at the end.
I mean, that guy just sounds like it's like he just plugged in and he's just like, three rails of coke, and then he just goes crowded on that. It's just like, I mean, but he's good at it. But I mean, he just goes. He's like, so yeah, that's the only. No others. I mean, all the songs they did this. I don't know. This album didn't do much for me. You can tell they're kind of near the end. Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff, right? Like it's just nothing really memorable too much. There's a few songs.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm weird about it, guys, because I really like this album. I don't know. I mean, it's not
I
like
had a feeling
best,
the doctor was going to pull that.
It's not like the best one. I mean, when you have a catalog like this, the back catalog, it's not something that you're going to put on all the time. But I don't know. I think But obviously, I Turned to Stone is going to be mine, like Webb, or Webb the Tire Fitter. Sorry. But yeah, it's got some nice acoustic guitar, keyboards laying down an atmospheric line in the background. Love Burke's vocal on this track, especially in the intro. Fourth section burst in very heavy. Really love the change in style from there, and they kind of go back and forth. Yeah, maybe I will, Sydney. Maybe I'll have Untitled Lullaby be this track 1 through 10. Maybe. I mean, but I like too, kind of like how you were talking about Heavy Revolution, how Burke changes every time or whatever with that line. On the verse of the song, there's no drums, right? And then on the second verse, they add some drums, so it kind of brings a different kind of style to it. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they were always smart with their songwriting with that kind of thing.
Yeah, even in the later period, even in something like this, when they don't change as much, they're still doing different kind of arrangements. And yeah, and just like Webb said, I mean, I love how it ends. You think it's over, and then you hear that gallop start, and then John goes crazy on that, like the last 2 minutes or so. Yeah, I just love it. I love the ending, all the notes coming together in sync from the bass, the drums, and the guitar. They all play like the same kind of notes to end it. Got a great ending. Yeah. Only thing I'm going to say about this album, though, too, I think this kind of would have been a better closer, personally, than an opener.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It just has that epic kind of feel. Untitled Lullaby. I don't know. Superstar probably would have been all right, right? I mean, it's upbeat, kind of get you going. I mean, I wouldn't use that apparatus.
I need a pee break. Sorry, I'll be back.
All right. So yeah, I was listening again. I was listening to this today, and I knew right off the bat it was going to be "I Turned to Stone." But with more listens, "Don't Lay Down and Die" actually might take it over. Love that song. Thought that was a really good song. But
good song too. Yeah.
Got to go with "I Turned to Stone." For everything you said, like it starts off, you're thinking like, okay, is it going to go anywhere? It's just kind of doesn't change all that much, but then like the song kind of fades out a little bit, then comes back, and it has that chugging riff, and that solo at the end totally makes the song. It goes on for like 2 minutes.
Man. Yeah, it's killer.
This could have been an Iron Maiden song. This could have fit on like, I guess, maybe Seventh Son, that kind of thing. Later Maiden.
Yeah, so they were doing.
Not so much.
So they were kind of influencing Maiden in both ways, really, because in the 70s stuff, they were influencing, I'm sure they heard this album too. So
this has like a later 80s Maiden sort of feel to it. But yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Anyone could do a proper best of record for Budgie, be Logan.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, if we ever did a top 10, I Turned to Stone would be up there.
He's gonna love that. All of ballads gonna be Logan's lullabies.
Yep. Oh man, I can't remember any of them now. You and I, and
weird
Everything in My Heart.
Yeah, like I said, no, you said jokingly, but I think Untitled Lullaby actually would have made sense as an opener because it could have gone into that acoustic intro of "I Turned to Stone."
Yeah.
Instead of ending the album with Untitled Lullaby, which is kind of strange.
Doesn't really go anywhere.
End it with like an intro, really. That's what they really. I guess it's an outro then, I guess, but.
Great points. Great points both of you guys made.
I would have, for me, the standouts on the only songs, "Reaper of the Glory" is okay, but they got,
I like "Use Me Up." I like that one.
Yeah, it's an okay album. Like it's not terrible. It's just not. It's somewhat forgettable almost, but kind of they started to lose their way a little bit here. But
they started to change their way. Change your ways.
Yeah. So then we get to "Deliver Us from Evil," which
Sydney's favorite.
Logan doesn't have the thing, so
I got it. I got it.
You have that one too. Oh my god, you have everything.
Hell yeah!
All right,
cool.
I was just trying to get it out. It won't come out of the.
No Budgie on the cover. Is that there's? If you look closely, is there like a Budgie emblem on that thing in the middle that they're holding up, or no? Nothing.
I don't think
so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
The record company was like, "All right, guys, it's enough with the bird. Enough with the bird."
Guys looking very rock and roll there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They look like a southern rock band.
They do. John Thomas is like, "Can we look like our?"
Look at these two guys.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, Burke changed his look too. He didn't have like the long hair with the glasses. Like he took the glasses off and had this other weird different
Yeah.
hairstyle.
Yeah, good example right here. Yeah, look.
He discovered contacts. Yeah.
Completely different. Completely different look. So yeah, we got 1982, October 23 is when this came out. And
Great shot.
Deliver Us from Evil.
Yeah.
That's cool. They did a good job with those.
Look at the button. It says "Board with Russia" on it.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, this
That's
was actually produced by Beau Hill, and the first song, "Bored with Russia," was actually written by him for the band Airborne, which we actually featured in one of our music hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
It was originally supposed to be for Airborne, and I guess the label or the band refused it or something. So then he used it for Budgie, gave it to Budgie. So yeah, the first song, "Bored with Russia," written by Beau, and they misspelled his name on it as B-O instead of B-E-A-U.
B.O.
B-E-A-U. Yeah, B-E-A-U. But they put it as just
No.
B-O. They misspell his name.
One is Bo and one is Bo.
It's the Welsh spelling. I don't know. So yeah, "Bored with Russia," "Don't Cry." That's not a suggestion. That's just the song.
Yeah.
"Truth Drug," "Young Girl."
Oh, here we go.
Written by
Bert's gotta
Mason
calm
Reed
down.
and Benjamin Loeb. So that was Outside Songwriters. They didn't even write that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Flowers in the this was the introduction of the Outside Songwriters, right? You got "Flowers in the Attic," NORAD, NORAD, and then in brackets "Doomsday City," "Give Me the Truth," Allison, "Finger on the Button," and "Hold On to Love." So what's Webb's favorite?
Well,
Yeah,
guys, a lot of keys on this album. Is overdone keys. You know, they were trying. I don't know. Beau Hill, I think, probably tried to put his foot in too much with this. You know, because didn't he do Rat?
Yes, and he's also a keyboard player. So
There you go. Mm-hmm. And
He
this
didn't
kind
play
of a cool board.
he didn't play the keyboards on it though. It was I mentioned that Duncan McKay played the keyboards. He's on Camel's 1981 album "Nude."
Duncan McKay sounds like a keyboard player.
He played on Kate Bush's first 3 albums.
Well, there you go. See.
Lionheart, "The Kick Inside." Oh, those are the Kate Bush albums. Okay, I'm just
Well, yeah, he sounds like a studio ace. They brought it. Yeah, Bo must have thought they needed some help. So it's kind of a Cold War themed album. I mean, you know, it's 82. I don't know. And then I put the song that stuck with me was NORAD, which is some sort of military thing, right? Northern. The acronym stands for something. Somebody look it up. I put it's a cool. You know, it's just a cool 6/8 feel. Actually, I like the synth line in it, and I didn't write much about it. I just said that it was the only one that kind of I put "Finger on the Button" and "Hold On to Love" are kind of cool with a little maiden gallop, but that was it. Yeah, there we go. North American Aerospace.
I don't know how we get the command part. I guess that's weird.
Where's the R come from?
I don't know. North.
Oh.
North American Defense, and then they left out the command. I guess you didn't want to call it NAADC. That's weird looking. NORAD looks cooler. I don't know. It makes no sense. Don't ask me. I didn't come up with it.
But yeah, the boys were about at the end here. I mean, that is what I'm saying. And I know they tried to bring in a big producer, but it's not very budgy. Not very budgy to me.
Yeah. To me, good music is good music. It doesn't sound like their classic period, but I just don't think the songs themselves are even all that great. This Duncan McKay guy, I'm looking at his stuff here. So this is some band called Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel.
I know them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Best of Our Lives, Timeless Flight, Loves a Prima Donna. Alan Parsons, he played on iRobot, Pyramid and Eve. Did 2 10cc albums, a couple Camel.
Oh, so he's a studio ace. I mean, yeah.
He's got 10 solo albums as well. He's done a bunch of his own stuff, but yeah. So he was on the
Nothing like Budgie, right? Yeah.
So what's Logan's favorite?
I went with Truth Drug. That was my
Okay.
pick here. Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I mean, yeah, most of this album isn't very great, but I think there's 4 or 5 songs I really like on this one to me. But yeah, I think this riff in this song, it reminds me of Another Hit and Run by Def Leppard. If you listen to it, it's really weird. It's got like the same. Yeah, you have to go back and listen to it because it's like throughout it. I think it might be a different key than that, but it's like the same kind of notes. I'm pretty sure.
Like just the opening riff, that dun, dun, dun,
well, they do it throughout it, I
main.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, on the verses and stuff. But yeah, like they add a new riff to the bridge section. I thought that was kind of cool. Solo's pretty good on this track. I think John's soloing on this album is really good. I mean, maybe the songs, aren't there all the time, and sometimes he doesn't even solo. Like Allison. But yeah, I like the way the solo ends too. He does a whole lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff. I wrote down it's very, very different sound for the band, but it's cool for what they were trying to do. I mean, yeah, this was towards the end. Maybe they really should have kept going heavier. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to.
Went the opposite direction. It's a very poppy album.
It doesn't really surprise me though. I mean, you got to think like the first album and like Impeccable and like Power Supply and this one. I mean, that's the same band. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Yeah.
It is crazy.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah, it was difficult and easy at the same time to pick my favorite song. There was only really 1 or 2 that actually stood out, so that kind of made it easy. I was listening to it. I'm like, what the hell am I going to pick? I don't like any of this. And then I get to the last 2 songs. I get to the last 2 songs. Finger on the Button's decent. Hold On to Love for me is the highlight. It's the only thing that's really, I guess, heavy or rocking on the album. It's called Hold On to Love. Very misleading song title.
Yes.
Yep.
You look at that, you think, oh, it's going to be a ballad, and kicks in. It's just kind of a fast in your face. It doesn't fit on this album. So it's completely different. It's way too heavy to be on this album, but I like it. So to me, that's my pick is Hold On to Love because it's a heavy rocker. And
last song of the original run.
Yeah, that's the last song on the album. It's a strong closer. And yeah, I made the joke with Logan before this. I just thought this Budgie was spayed and neutered.
Some bands hold on, a few albums too long. Maybe
I thought this one was just it's very poppy. I don't know, very. And then that last song just does not fit in. It's like, to me, that's like that could have been on the earlier album or almost just, I don't know. That could have fit on maybe the last album because it kind of got that more sound. It doesn't really have the sound of everything else, but that was my pick. Is Hold On to Love. Weird Debbie.
Think if they would have called it quits after Impeccable. 71 to 78.
But then we wouldn't have got Panther Division Destroyed.
Well, but maybe like go under a different name or something, change it up, do something different.
Yeah. Burke Shelley's Budgie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Burke's Budgie.
Yeah.
Berkey, I don't know. Let's see. So now we got.
I can't wait to talk about this next one.
Well, so we're going to go to the last stage first because we're going by year of release. So Last Stage came out in 2004. Oh, let me get the thing. I'm pretty sure I got the pulling up Wikipedia here.
But it was supposed to be the follow-up, right? It was
Deliver Us from Evil.
Sort of. It was supposed to be like somewhat of a follow-up to Deliver Us from Evil. So yeah, it came out in October 25th, 2004. It's cool that they released it. It's just all unreleased Budgie tracks. It's not like an official studio album or anything, but they're all unreleased Budgie tracks. And yeah, it says many of them were intended to be released as a follow-up, but they never saw the light. The album never came, so they decided. And it says the sound quality varies from track to track because each song was at a different level of completion before the song was scrapped. So
different level of suckiness.
It's not that bad. Come on.
I'm being mean.
The Last Stage, yeah, it's kind of like they're all just leftovers, right? They're songs that didn't make an album, right? They were probably running out of ideas, but. So if you had to pick a favorite from The Last Stage, I mean, we kind of cheated. It's a compilation album, but it's all different songs, right? So I figured let's just include it, pick something from it. It's over an hour. It's like 16 minutes, 16 songs. So
yeah,
it's cool that they did it, though. Here's some unreleased bonus material. So
I like the way you said compilation.
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 They compiled them together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they compiled a big kind of pile of dung.
Oh, it's not that bad. Come on.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
Fur
being
coop?
edgy. Hey, my blood sugar's low. No, I wrote that. Have you gone through the songs? Are you gonna really name?
Oh
all the
yeah, I
songs?
gotta go. Okay, love
Do
is
you
when
really
you
need to?
love. I'll go
Oh,
through that. Yeah, love is when you love. House of a sinner. Same old sad affair. Signed your own fate, which is kind of what they did. Um, hard luck. Living with another man. Weird. You ain't got love. Renegade. No, it's not a Styx cover or a Thin Lizzy cover. Or what other? Yeah. Wait till. Sweet fast talker. Wait till tomorrow. Rock your blood. Nutbush City Limits, which is obviously a cover. Can't get up in the morning. Heaven in your eyes. Picture on a screen and victim.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, I played this one time this week, guys, in full. I don't even remember like any of them songs. Maybe two of them.
Well, I had nothing. I had nothing written down for a favorite song, and then I said, and I went back 2 hours ago or whatever, right before, and I said, okay, the second song, I didn't even know the name of it.
House of the Sinner.
House of the Sinner. I said it kind of has a pretty cool beginning, and it has a hell of a solo, and he shreds, and that's all I wrote.
Okay, yeah, it's not much. These are all outtakes, right? Like they're not real. I mean, they're real songs, but there's all stuff
Right.
they decided to scrap, right? Because
But if you had a gun to my head, I would say House of the Sinner is my favorite song on this album.
a cool CD to like you can pick it up and own it just for like completionist
yeah.
sake, right? Just to have it in your collection, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Logan, your thoughts?
Well, I've got how many? I've got all 10 of these. Or the 10, right? Because I don't have the last one. After listening to this, I don't feel the need to own it. So there's that. But I picked the song Webb picked, House of the Sinner.
Okay,
And
wow.
yeah, I got pretty much
The fact that you lined up on this. What?
pretty much the same thing. Well, I mean, that's like the one I guess that kind of stuck out to me. It's got that like maiden gallop kind of to it, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like the solo, like I've said about John Thomas, but I think maybe too. I wrote this down. He might be pulling from like different, like more '80s players, like not like too much, like maybe DeMartini and people like that. But he doesn't go crazy like that. But he kind of sounds like he's listening to that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just kind of a shame the band just let this stuff sit, and for 10. But at least they put it out,
And it says weird guitar and vocals on track 13, which is Can't Get Up in the Morning. Guitar and vocals, Rob Kendrick.
Yeah.
Can't even click his name on Wikipedia. Nothing comes up. It's just.
I remember that song because it's so goofy. It's like there's like a phone ringing or something, or alarm ringing or something. It's funny.
Like, it's not even him. Yeah, not even John. It's not
he might have been a guy that like delivered the pizza or something. And he said, "Hey, I play guitar," and they're like, "Hey, come on in."
But yeah, that's what I had to say about it. So.
Yeah, for me, House of the Sinner. For me, I went with Sweet Fast Talker because kind of like a high energy song, got a good solo in there. I was gonna go with Nutbush City Limits. I thought they did a good job of it. Actually, I actually do really like their cover. Cool.
I think they did too. Yeah.
I didn't want to cheat and just pick a cover song. I mean, I could have. It's on the album, but
that's a cool
for me,
song.
I think that's actually the highlight of it. Sadly, is the cover. I mean, can't really dog on it too much. It's not an actual album, right? It's a compilation of unreleased tracks. So you can't really sit there saying, "Oh, this sucks. This album's no good." It's not really an album, anyways, right? It was done as like a bonus thing.
I don't know why they felt the need to put it together, and
I guess,
they could have easily not done that.
Yeah,
especially in 2004. It's like how many people really bought it? I mean,
yeah, they had like 35 people going. We need some new Budgie. We need some new Budgie.
Well, we did get it a couple of years later, but we'll get to that. But yeah, Nutbush City Limits, I probably have to go with, but I'll just go with Sweet Fast Talker since the original. So it's their own original song. But other than that, I would go with Nutbush. But yeah, I'll go with Sweet Fast Talker. So we're gonna get to our Sweet Fast Talker in a minute with Webb.
Oh yeah.
To discuss the next up, You're All Living in Cuckoo Land, or is it We're all? See, I can't even remember the title. Boy,
there's really not a reason to remember the title.
We got this album here. I'll pull it up here.
Looking like the bird.
You're All Living in Cuckoo Land. Okay.
How's that armpit, Docker? Is it okay?
No, it's still pretty warm, man.
Well, so this was their final album, came out in 2006, shortly after, after that compilation of unreleased stuff. They got back in the studio, and this time Simon Lease on guitar. Steve Williams is still there on drums, still got Burke on vocal and bass. Yeah, I got a new guitar player, the only thing he ever played on, because this was their last album in 2006. Recorded in 2005, 2006, released late 2006. So completely self-produced, Burke Shelley and Nigel Thomas. Of course, his name is Nigel.
Nigel.
Yeah. They should have
Well,
covered the XTC song.
So is that the end of the show then? Are we done?
No, we're not.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right. Yeah, we got, what do we got here? So it was their first, it was their first official studio album in 24 years. So we got, and it was accompanied by a UK only tour. So we got Justice, Dead Men Don't Talk, We're All Living in Cuckoo Land, Falling, Love Is Enough, Tell Me, Don't Want To, in brackets, Find That Girl, Captain, I Don't Want to Throw You. And then we get to the goofy song titles. I'm compressing the comb on a cockerel's head. Sure.
Yeah.
I saw that and thought, oh, great, Budgie's back. This is 8 minutes. It's going to be like this epic, heavy song with all these wicked solos and time changes and quirkiness. And I saw the album cover. Okay, this is going to be like the best thing ever. This is going to be the best album of 2006. And then I listened to it. And so we'll get to Webb for his thoughts. And I don't want to badmouth it too much because you go to YouTube and people are saying best album ever, best last album ever by any band. And I'm like, I don't get the love for it. I don't see it. But
it
anyway.
sounds absolutely awful. I could almost barely listen to it. I mean, I tried to go. I don't think I listened to any song more than about a minute and a half, and it just sounds real metallic-y and cheap. And I don't know. Maybe it's the transfer onto YouTube or something. But oh my God.
They should have done a cover of
your mom saying making plans for Nigel. She knows.
They should have covered that on this. Done a cover of only.
Yeah,
that's for Nigel.
Primus was a good cover of that, by the way, on their EP.
Funny.
Yeah, making plans for Nigel. But I wrote that. I put this is what I wrote. Sound is awful. Doesn't sound like Budgie to me at all. Sounds like a bunch of stripper songs. And
what's wrong with that?
Well, I'm just saying it has that "Don't Cheese My Chair." I mean, it all kind of has that. Yeah, and I put "Dead Men Don't Talk." It kind of had a cool futuristic riff to it. It sounds like it sounds like a keyboard guitar riff or something, keytar or something. But and then I put "Justice" was okay, but that I couldn't. I had to stop listening to it. I was like, this Budgie, come on, you should have just. I don't know why they did it. Somebody liked it. I know somebody liked it.
A lot of people are liking it. There's nothing but positive comments on this album on YouTube.
They might have paid those people. They paid those people for that.
I don't know. I think it's because it's modern and people has the modern sound. It's probably people that are fans of like modern rock music, right?
But it sounds real thin, or maybe I just need to hear it in a different, not coming through my phone or something. I don't know. It just sounded.
I'll give it one thing. Simon Lease is a fantastic guitar player. He does some really good leads on a lot of the stuff, but I just find there's no songs. It's just the guy's wailing away on the guitar, but the songs themselves aren't very memorable, or it's very alternative, almost sounding like a 90s alternative album or something.
Debbie pleads the fifth on stripper songs, so I wonder what she's trying to say.
Oh boy.
What are you saying about that, Debbie, huh?
She's partaking.
Go on.
Well, I don't know. She threw it out there. I'm just making that comment.
Oh boy. How dare you poke fun at Debbie's career? No, I'm kidding. No,
Debbie was a school teacher like me.
Oh, well, then she better not be stripping.
Hey, you got the summers off. You got the summers off. There's time for a second job. We don't get paid very well.
Oh, it's funny.
Sorry, it's getting late in the afternoon.
Debbie's a good sport. Oh my God.
She's laughing. She knows.
Debbie's a good sport. We know she knows we're joking. We know you're not a stripper.
Teachers are bonkers.
Oh my God. So yeah, what's Logan's thoughts? He's gonna pick the cockatiel song or cockatiel head song.
Well, like I was telling you, I listened to this. I got to the 40-minute mark, so that's as far as I got. So I still need to listen to the last two. I'll listen to them. I mean, you know what I mean?
You
But
really don't.
yeah, I probably don't. But yeah, I mean, probably a waste of 13 minutes. I'll never get back. But I will listen to it. I went with Tell Me, which you know, I guess. I mean, it's okay. Got this acoustic part. It kind of does the Budgie thing, you know, but
Yeah.
not really, you know. I mean, it switches from acoustic to electric, and Simon's solo is pretty good. But yeah. I mean, I hate that this is how this band ended, man. They deserve more than this, you know. I wish they would have came back and, you know, just made
Like
another
straight
killer
up
album.
heavy metal album, even if it wasn't something like very creative like in the old days. You could have just done a straightforward raw heavy metal album, kind of like the newer Priest stuff or Saxon, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Right?
Yeah, because I feel like they were trying to adapt to modern times, and you know, there's some acoustic songs like that Captain song. I think is completely acoustic. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just a shame. It's just a great band. I wish it would have ended different.
I guess they were trying to have some big success, hoping that like releasing something like this would get airplay because it's very of the times, right? It's very 2000, very modern sounding. Just kind of
For
has
sure.
like almost a grunge feel to it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, that's all
Budgie,
I'd say, man.
Budgie goes Nirvana. I'm like, why? Just I don't know.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I went with Dead Men Don't Talk. I went with that as well because like it's pretty kind of almost that song almost to me that's the far standout. It kind of has a Living Color sort of feel to it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Especially in the soloing, very Vernon Reid. Yeah, the solo on that is just really, it's a really good solo. I'll give him that. Song itself isn't not all that memorable, but he goes nuts on the solo. That's all I really have to say about that song. It's not really none of this stuff. I was just like, what am I gonna pick from this? So I'll just go with the song that has the best solo, and I'll go with that. So
Yeah.
Dead Men Don't Talk would be my favorite. It's just like, yeah. Another joke coming. They laid an egg on this one.
Good. It took me a quarter of a second to get that.
What does Webster teach? Psychology. No, I don't know.
I'll answer.
Why are you typing it?
Why am I typing?
He's like, I'll answer.
Why
He's
am I
just-
typing it? That just proves that I'm ready to
I
retire.
hope you're not teaching computer technology.
No. I'm Kiefer. I'm gonna sound real important. I am a reading interventionist.
Ooh.
I work
So
with kids that I'm not just a third grade teacher.
That's so fancy. I don't even know what that means.
No, but I work in elementary school, so yeah,
Okay.
I work with kids that just can't read, and I'm pretty good at helping them out, and I've been doing that for like 15 years. So
Webb knows
work
his difference
with-
between vowels and consonants.
I thought it was consonants.
the letter A makes 7 sounds. Did you know that?
Can you
It
do the
makes
sounds
7.
that Brooke Shelley does with the letter A?
All right, guys.
But when you
All
have a
right.
bunch of Spanish kids where the vowels they don't, it's really hard to teach second language kids. And
You force them to read.
Oh, I force them.
You
Oh,
force
yeah.
them.
I force them
Throw
to
them.
read. Read, damn it! I can't. Just do it.
Yes, you can.
You
Oh,
can and you will. That's a Seinfeld.
oh boy.
Oh, Weird Debbie and I have a lot in common. Wow, because she was a reading
To me, that
interventionist.
reading interventionist, that sounds like somebody who has a reading problem and you have to cure them of it.
Wait, what did Kiefer? What smart ass thing did Kiefer say? Oh no, he didn't. I had a reading intern, but they put me in with one because I was supposed to hit him with a book.
What? No, it's not what the hell?
Well, we're deteriorated.
Ugh.
We're deteriorating.
You've heard elementary still, Kiefer. Ouch.
Isn't Kiefer only like 20?
15.
19 or 20 or
15.
21 or
15.
He is not.
Yeah, he is.
He really is? No, he's not.
It's funny. It does. Reading interventionist, it sounds like you have a problem. You are too good at reading. We are going to cure you of that. Like an alcoholic, but a reading problem.
Well,
My
you know,
name,
they have to make things sound, yeah. They
my
have to
name is Jim, and I'm a reader.
Oh my God, we are, yeah. No, Kiefer is seriously only 15. There's no
Yes.
way he's that young. Is he really that young?
Mm,
Kiefer, are you really 15? He's not driving yet?
no, I hope not.
I hope not.
Where did
Well,
Logan go? He went to go put on the last Budgie album because he got in the mood for it.
yeah, I heard somebody yelling at Logan. It sounded like his mom was yelling at him.
She's yelling at him to read.
Hey guys, we got to close this out.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna be
2
honest.
hours now. Wow.
I know.
It was going to be a long one when you got, and guess we're doing Aerosmith next week, so that's gonna,
Holy shite! Wow.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, doing Aerosmith next week with Ches. He's gonna be joining us for that.
I don't know who Chaz is. I saw that name. Have I
He was
seen
on
him?
a few episodes so far. He was on the box set episode and one of the Cinderella ones.
Oh, well, that shows that I haven't gone back and watched some of your shows. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What else? Yeah, what else is coming up? We got another music hangout next week, but we also, so we got that, another music hangout. We got Aerosmith. They're doing the same thing, going through every Aerosmith album, picking our favorite from that. And then after that, we got DC coming on for Grand Funk Railroad for that.
Oh, DC's fun.
So that'll be a fun one.
Well, Grant's doing is promoting Grant. He'd be like, thanks. His listening parties tonight. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people jumping on that.
Yes, and he actually said he's going to play Hot as a Docker's Armpit. So he suggested, he was taking suggestions. I guess Logan was messaging him, and
he's going to play Budgie?
Yeah, he was asking because he hadn't picked the songs yet.
Well, shit, I should have sent him a bunch. I mean, but
just a Budgie listening party.
Budgie listening party, that'll have about 12 people on, and then but no, I know Grant's all excited. He's like 3 hours by himself. Yeah, he's gonna.
But the suggest stuff from the last Budgie album. Imagine if
you know what, guys? We got to do Beck Bogart and a Piece at the end of the month, right?
Yep.
Or is that?
You're coming on for that
Thursday of the month. Yep.
And it's right before my birthday. That'll be my birthday celebration.
Nice.
I won't be turning 16 like Kiefer in this next one, but yeah, I went back and listened to that album. I don't remember liking it as much as I thought I did, but you know, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Have y'all listened to it at all?
I haven't.
I played it this week. Yeah.
It's got some cool stuff. I mean, you know, it's three great players, and I love I mean, I love his singing, and it just
little too much slow stuff to me.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But once you fast, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, let's just all go on Grant's show and just talk about how much it's just not very good.
So we'll be on Grant's Rock Warehouse on the May 29th. Yeah.
Yes.
May 29th for Beck Bogart and a Piece for a one and done. So we'll be on that. And like I said, next week is Aerosmith with Ches Cetra, and after the following week will be with DC for Grand Funk. We got some other bands coming up that we got listed at some point. Davey Cretin will join us for Kansas for Best Songs.
Well, that'll be a long show.
For Sabotage as well.
Because you know Cretin. Cretin talks 3 times.
We'll have to tell him, Davey, to say the song and move on to the next person.
Yeah. No, real quick, did you when they were doing Styx last week, the 2 albums?
Oh yeah.
And Grant was getting all worked up, and he made that comment out loud. Jesus Christ, you're just finishing side 1. That's what he said to Cretin. Because he just assumed he was. I don't even know if he was tuning him out. I mean, Davey's awesome. I mean, the guy knows he analyzes every lyric almost. It's awesome.
Yeah, we got a long list of bands to continue with this. It's a lot easier than doing an entire album series where you have to go through every single song that the band's ever done, right? I think this is a little bit more of a kind of cool to just listen to every album and then pick our favorite song. So
yeah. So
I think we got Robin Trower's another one that we're gonna just do the James Dewar years. So it's another one.
Dad's getting a very. I had a crow also. It was murdered.
It was a murdered crow, not a murder of crows. Yeah.
Oh, your parents sound fun. Your parents sound like a lot of fun.
Until they start arguing.
Don't say that on air. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
All married couples argue. Don't
Yep.
tell me you come on. You have to. It's part
Me
of
and
it.
Logan argue all the time. No.
Oh God. All right, boys. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks the tire fitter for joining us. He's got a tire to go change, and the person
I gotta go change another tire.
Get back to the docks, guys. I gotta go.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I love hanging out with you guys.
Yep. Thanks for coming on, Webb.
Because we could joke around for 4 hours probably.
Oh my God, yeah, probably. All right. And we will do Kiss down the line, but we'll have to split that up into sections.
Yeah. We got it. There's another perfect band out there that we got to do this with, and I'm going to think about it. I'm going to send you guys emails.
Just say it.
Cool, man.
Cool. All right, I'm out.
All right. Have a good one, Webb.
See you.
See you, Webb.
I can't leave. Leave. Close. Bye.
All right. So that's enough for this. And yeah, well, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you had some fun with this. And all the links for all these albums are all down there in the description, as we always do. So you can go listen to these anytime if you want. And I'd like to say, like, Music Hangout, the audio came kind of messed up yesterday for the Excursion album. So like I said, it's fine live when you're watching. For whatever reason, sometimes I don't know, getting some audio issues. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, we'll be back next week with our Music Hangout and Aerosmith best songs. So thanks everybody for watching this one. Go check out some Budgie, lots of great material, underrated band, and yeah, thanks for watching.
See you guys.